Hello collective, welcome to the channel. Today is September 22nd and I'm back with a message. Let's see what Spirit has for us. Thanks for being here, everybody. Collective energy, please. Spirit, collective energy. Storyline for the collective, please. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. All right, in the central energy. Chariot. Forward movement. In the challenge position, we have strength. So, you got to overcome something. You're overcoming something. In the subconscious, King of Cups. King of Cups. In the recent past, the Empress. Intentions and expectations. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody's having a financial failure. In the near future. Four of Swords. Planning for the future. The lens it's being looked through. Five of Pentacles. In the environment. The Hierophant. Hopes and fears. Six of Swords. We've got a relationship ending. You're leaving something behind. And the outgoing energy. Well, we got the Moon in the reversed. So something has been revealed. An illusion has been broken. Knight of Wands. Prince Charming, being passionate, wanting to negotiate a new contract with the Queen of Wands. There's a painful ending here of the Queen of Wands' generosity. Charity. So somebody's lost the Queen of Wands' charity, and it's a painful ending. Whether this Queen of Wands is the Empress or not, take it as it resonates. So we've got the Chariot here, forward movement, some kind of a victory. Some kind of control. We've got communication. Somebody wants to communicate. You've got a victory here. You're going on a journey. Somebody wants you to compromise, to forgive, to work it out. They're challenged by your strength. And this third party enemy is told to move on. You're very strong here and you're like, move on, get out. Don't mess with me. You're telling this third party enemy to move on. They want to compromise and work it out, but you're leaving them behind. We've got the King of Cups here in the subconscious, love of divine masculine. King of Cups, we've got liar. There could be a King of Cups here who is a liar. They could be this third party enemy that you're telling to get on down the road, move on. Saboteur. You're the Empress here in the recent past. We got date night. Get ready to be wine and dine. Somebody has lost their money. Somebody has been experiencing a loss, or somebody in this date night business, this lying King of Cups, may have the intention of taking your 10 of Pentacles. And you're letting them go. So yeah, somebody's lost. Somebody has lost their money because you've let them go. To make room for the love that you deserve. We've got date night here. We're going to have to get more clarification. We've got the Four of Swords. You're planning for the future. You're recovering from this nastiness. Mercury retrograde, and you're not going back. You're not going back. You're not taking something back. You're planning for the future. You're not going back. Somebody's in a Five of Pentacles loss. And we've got no. The answer is no. So they've been defeated. They've got the answer is no from the Hierophant, perhaps. Gold digger. There could be a Hierophant who is a gold digger. Maybe they're dealing with a gold digger. We've got the Six of Swords, hopes and fears. Six of Swords, relationship ending, and we've got pets. You might be getting a new pet. We've got the Moon in the reverse. Something is no longer hidden. You're facing something head on. You're out of patience. Somebody's out of patience. This illusion has been busted wide open. You're no longer afraid. You see very clearly. Air sign, give it time. Guardian angel. There could be an air sign who is here guarding you and your future honeymoon. Use your intuition here. Somebody's trying to use a love spell to get you to open up your heart. This is a third party enemy who's going to be traveling soon because they took a gamble and got divorced right out of this commitment. You got a liar here trying to play Prince Charming. So you've got a victory, you're in your chariot, you're moving forward with something. Somebody wants to communicate, they want you to compromise and forgive them for centuries of abuse. Centuries. We've got prophecy in the reverse. They weren't able to get their prophecy going. Their prophecy failed. It didn't pan out. They weren't able to get their savior to find a sacrifice that could sufficiently hold their darkness. They're challenged by your strength. You're telling them to move on. You don't want to have anything to do with them. We've got purpose. It could be that part of your purpose is to get rid of the third-party enemies. Move on. You're in your purpose. You don't want to deal with them. You've got a King of Cups here who is a liar. They weren't able to get their prophecy going. They weren't able to find the proper sacrifice. This is an explorer, visitor. This is an explorer. They don't actually belong here. This is a liar trying to get a date with the Empress. They need the Empress's strength and her purpose in order to be anybody significant. So the Empress is getting ready to be wined and dined by a driver. So we've got a driver, somebody who wants a handler, somebody who wants to manipulate this Empress, or somebody who has been manipulating this Empress is being let go. They're not getting the 10 of Pentacles. Shine. You've let go. They've let go. They let go of you. They betrayed you. They let go of you. They bailed out on you. They abandoned you. So, you know, they stole your stuff. They let you go. They let go of you. A shining one. You're making plans for the future. You're not going back. You're the freaking Empress. And these ones were trying to drive you with date night. Who gets her this time? Ooh, we've got a promise. Somebody's in a 5 of Pentacles and they're getting the answer no. Something's not working out for them. Grave. The Hierophant is here and we've got Gold Digger. Messenger personality. So there could be a gold digging actor or actress getting a message from the Hierophant, or the Hierophant is getting a message. We've got relationship ending, releasing the baggage. We've got pets. You're getting a new pet. You remember. There's a remembrance, a memory. And the moon in the reverse, all has been revealed. You're no longer afraid. You're out of patience. They martyred you and you were able to preserve yourself and rise back up out of that. God resurrected you. And you've got this lying King of Cups. Oh, I love you so much. They're so dramatic. They're really trying to lay it on thick, man. And to them, it's nothing more than proper words that they always foul. Like they never do what they say they're going to do. We've got evermore. Evermore. So you're coming into your evermore. So they martyred you. God resurrected you. And you're coming into the evermore. This religion and their creativity is changing. There's a change for this snake, this religious whatever, this religious scenario. religion and the creator and a snake and a change, okay? Because they wanted things that belonged to the spiritual throne of an empress who didn't do anything to them except serve them. They were cruel and brutal, and they're trying to spy on the location of this service member, this woman of service. There's a witch who wants to bring hardship to your pathway. They want to haunt you because you care for yourself and they want to be you. So this could be that there's a backstory. They wanted your body. They were mimicking your body. These ones have been living the lives of dead men and dead women. It's like they gently unalive them and then inhabit the freaking form or whatever. They've been competing with love. And we got time for a tribe of wise guys who was pretending to be you. Peaceful. Horse playing around. Spying on you with a limited perception. Trying to be a leader. But they were just horse playing around because they didn't really know. I mean, they were spying on you to see who you were, this wholesome person. You're getting justice. Attention has been brought to what those who were not willing to settle down have done to you as a sovereign being. They tried to make you absent, invisible. And you were able to get a defense. You have been defended from this ancestry who are being disconnected because they are vain. You have expectation of taking this limelight position here and now. You're being congratulated because you survived. And you are important. You did not take any shortcuts. You did the hard work. You suffered the experience. You were innocent. And they came up and tried to box your ears off, scramble your brains, feed your soul to a shadow demon. And they're going home, back where they belong. These spirits are afraid of you. You are arcana. You're calling judgment here for the work that they have done. They want your forgiveness here. You know what's been going on. This is in the grave. You're not helping them anymore. They want your forgiveness, but if it was just one lifetime of experience that was nasty, that's one thing. But they've been doing this for centuries, and they bragged about it, laughed about it. As they hurt you, they were laughing behind the scenes. Oh, look at the poor baby cry. Oh, look at her cry. And they were thinking so highly of themselves at their capacity to bring suffering and pain to somebody innocent. They got off on it. But you got a victory over it, and now they want to communicate. They want you to forgive, compromise, work it out. You know, they weren't able to get their prophecy going, and you're tearing stuff up. There was 2 different prophecies, and they couldn't get theirs going because you're too damn strong. And now they got to get out. They got to leave. They're confused. They weren't able to get their prophecy going. You're too strong. These third-party enemies have to move on because you're in your purpose. Your purpose is to bring about the evermore for those who were martyred and then raised by the Most High. It's like, you know, the shining ones, they were sacrificed into the shadow realm by these ones. And now your purpose is to get rid of the third-party enemy and to bring in this evermore. Somebody's in regret regarding your purpose. They wish it had never happened. King of Cups is a liar. This is an explorer. They are here on visitation. They don't actually belong in this realm. They're not human. They just want to rule over humans because they think of humans as an animal, a food source, a battery, a commodity, chattel. This is a liar. He's just here, and we've got holding back in the reverse. It's like we got holding back in the reverse. They're not holding back. You're not holding back. They're confused. You didn't hold back. The Empress is here, and then she's dealing with this driver, date night driver. We've got gossip in the reverse. They don't want people talking about it. We've got rumors. Somebody's driving. Somebody doesn't want anybody talking. They don't want this Empress talking. They want to get a date with the Empress so that they can stop her from talking. They want to drive her and her influence, her sharing. They want to silence her. They've lost their 10 of Pentacles because they got let go. They let go of this. They got let go by this shining being. They want to fix the connection. This shining being, this Empress, is making plans for the future. She's not going back. She's got a new promise. Or maybe that is a promise. These ones are hurting from the damages that they have caused. And there is a promise. So here it is. She's making plans for the future. She's not going back. This Empress, they're trying to get date night with her. And she's like, bop on freaking goo. Get out of here. There's a promise that these ones are going to be suffering the damages that they have caused. 2 men, a man and a woman, whatever. They're in a 5 of Pentacles because no, they did not get it. The Pentacles. They lost all 10 Pentacles. No, grave. They weren't able to put you in the grave. They lost the money because they were not able to put you in the grave. They've been found unworthy. The Hierophant is here with a gold digger, or maybe they are a gold digger, a personality. So the Hierophant could be dealing with a personality, an actor, an actress. They're giving a message. They're a gold digger. The Hierophant's dealing with gold diggers. And we've got a new chapter. You're moving away from that, releasing the baggage. You're getting a pet. You're being remembered. You do remember. Daydreaming. Longing for you. You're being remembered. You're no longer in fear. The Moon card is in the reverse. The truth is known. Nothing is hidden. You're out of patience. Those who were martyred and were able to preserve themselves are entering into the evermore, everlasting love, eternal love. We've got sabotage. Somebody sabotaged themselves. They messed up the good things, going after money, fighting with irreplaceable love, chasing after irreplaceable love's soul contract for money. They didn't want love. They wanted the money that came with it. Now there's unfinished business here. They want to escape. They're unsatisfied with what they've received. They don't know what to do. This was an unexpected outcome for this reflection, this mirror magic, copycat, whatever, in the shadows there. They're broken and shattered because it's too late for them to do anything about your soul tie. You have an understanding of what it is they are all about, and they want your forgiveness for messing in the shadows. You have been reunited here with your honey bunny or whatever, and these ones who have habitual patterns of effing everything up and then laughing like they're the most clever beings in the entire galaxy are getting what they gave. They're getting a reciprocity of the neglect. And they're trying to run away. They didn't appreciate your beauty, and they're guilty of causing pain to you. And they missed their opportunity for a commitment with you because they're a third-party hoe bag. Liar. Prideful. Making mistakes. Keeping secrets from love that was supposed to be inseparable. And now they're getting detached from your destiny. They're unworthy of you. This passion, this little F-boy or F-girl, they can't get into your space. They got to just stay away. They're feeling your absence because the truth is revealed about what they did with responsible unions and the fact that you never gave up hope for it while they tried to paint you out as what they are. You are love. And when the whole world shit on you, you poured love into you to try to heal from it. Now they want to talk. They're overwhelmed and stressed out. And I bet you could probably care less. It's like, don't bring your troubles to me, man. Centuries, this Empress has been dealing with these troubles that these drivers have been dumping on her with all their date nights. And now they want to continue bringing their freaking trouble, their problems. Whoa, let's compromise. She's done dealing with your shit. She's not coming back. You guys are rats, man. You're freaking mean. Mean, selfish, greedy whores. And, you know, Empress doesn't need that crap. You want to make her eat your shit so that you can feel better about yourself. Come on, man. It's foul. A lying king of cups wants to take a big old shit on this Empress. Third wheel freaking enemy wants to apologize for dominating you. And who gives a shit? This is what they did, they tried to dominate you so that you wouldn't come into your eternal love, but eternal love triumphs. Worthless. This explorer, whoever this explorer is, whatever kind of entity or species this is, it's shaped like a man or a woman, they lack empathy. They're not whole. They're just a part of what it takes. They're the bad part, the shadow part, the unworthy part. But they want to prance around like they are worthy, but they need an attachment to this divine feminine, this Empress, so that they can drive her and stop people from talking. You're not sick. They're confused. You're not sick. You've got the Chariot here. You're moving on. They want you to forgive them, compromise, work it out. They weren't able to get their prophecy to work out. It did not happen for them. They're confused. You're not sick. You're very, very strong. They're challenged by this. And this third party enemy is told to move on. It could be part of your purpose, and they're in regret. They wish that it had never happened, but you don't even care about that. It's been centuries of sickness, centuries of transmuting their shit, their freaking selfish little whoring energy that they kept dumping into the toroidal field of this divine feminine. And it's like, are you kidding me? Oh, please forgive me. Are you kidding me? They're afraid. And you know what? God said that this Empress, this divine feminine, has been too forgiving. Over the centuries, she kept turning the other damn cheek. Not now. God's not going to let her turn the other cheek now. It doesn't matter what these ones say or what she says. God ain't giving her up, and he said, you will never give it back, Empress. They're not getting it, whether you want it or not. God's taking you right out of here. It does not matter. This is a King of Cups, a liar. This is an explorer from another system who does not belong here. They're here visiting. And we've got holding back in reverse. You're not holding back. Justice. Justice is not being held back. They will suffer for their crime. They will not ever obtain this Empress or the energy or the intellectual property or the gifts or the power of this divine feminine, this mother who brings forth life in all of its forms. They will never get it back. They will never participate and partake in the life that this Empress births into the world. Never. They tried to put her in the damn grave, and they weren't able to do it. So in the recent past, we've got the Empress here. We've got date night. We've got a driver, and we've got gossip in the reverse. Nightmare. They don't want you talking about it. They're not able to talk about it. They're losing everything. They lost all those 10 of Pentacles. It's all in the reverse. They're being let go from your shine. They want to fix this connection. They're stressed out. Their mental body is whacked. And you don't care. You're making plans for the future. You're not going back. Mercury retrograde? Are you kidding? No. There is a promise for these ones, these two men and that woman there. They are going to feel the damage and the pain that they have caused this Empress. They are going to feel it. They are going to feel the loss. They are going to feel the damage. They're going to feel the pain. And this Empress isn't going to be there to carry that load for them, to make it okay. She doesn't owe them anything. They're in a 5 of Pentacles because they could not put her in the grave, and they've been found unworthy. Evidence in the reverse. There's no evidence. There's no proof. They were not able to supply evidence that this Empress was unworthy. They were not able to stick her in the grave. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. They tried to sacrifice this Empress, and God resurrected her and led her back into an ascension to the evermore, everlasting love. They were not able to supply evidence that she was unworthy. They were lying. The Hierophant knows that they are gold diggers, actors and actresses, getting a message about the new chapter. There's a new chapter. You got to move on. You're moving on. You're out of here. You were not able to supply the evidence that you needed in order to unalive this Empress. She was not what you said she was. She was innocent, covered in the blame and the shame of your perversion and your hate and your wicked, forbidden ways. And you're still out there doing it. You masculines are out there talking to your leaders or whoever who are convincing you to do the forbidden stuff, and you do it. You're supposed to be godly men, and you're out there doing wicked things trying to bury this Empress. The Hierophant knows what you are. You're not men of God. You're impersonators. We've got a new chapter here of natural disasters. These actors and actresses, these gold diggers, will have a new chapter of natural disaster. Loss, damage, pain, survival. You're releasing that baggage. You're getting a new pet. You remember what these prideful people did to you while they were trying to be you. You remember. And you're releasing the baggage. You're not afraid anymore. The Moon card is in the reverse. All the illusions are cracked wide open. You can see what's going on. You're not afraid. They're confused. You're out of patience. Those who were martyred, and then saved by God are going into the evermore. And those whose values were all about money sabotage them to own damn selves. Because they were trying to bring death to family. And so they're out of here. They don't get to participate in family. They were all about money, man. They didn't want anything except money. They put family in the grave. So that's what they're getting. This is what they wanted for the world. This is what they shall receive. They're getting death because they were trying to bring death to families. They don't get to participate or enjoy the fruits of the mother's labor, meaning they have forfeited their life. We've got good news. It's a miracle. They want to compromise. All these people who collaborated against you now, these third-party enemies, want to compromise. You made it to the peak. You are committed here. You're the navigator, they called you yesterday. You were martyred. You were able to preserve yourself. You were able to rise up through the pain and the blame and the shame and the heavy weight of all that toiletry that they kept burying you under, that you kept having to transmute. It's time for you to go have fun. You know, you have this magnificent white halo and a beautiful yellow golden aura. And you care about family. You are a blessing to family. And you're getting your eternal love. You're getting your eternal love. That these third wheel enemy, they want to apologize for trying to dominate you. These third wheel enemies were laying curses on you with their stupid little magic. And now, you know, they want forgiveness, because you're getting mercy. You're getting a new family tree. You do not have to deal with these people anymore. You're not going back. The God said you will never give it back. They will never, ever, ever get it back from you. They're just not going to. God said no. He's here claiming her. She was too forgiving. She kept turning the other damn cheek, and God said enough is a freaking enough. Enough is enough, man. They don't know what to do. They're all alone. They're sick. They're in danger. They're mentally messed up in the head over this marriage, over your love, over your high value. It's all with you. They could have had everything with you. You're getting what you prayed for in the past. You're getting triumph and inner peace. And you could be a new coach. You could be a new coach, like you and your friends who were martyred, who were raised, and who are coming into this eternal love, because love is who you are and what you are. These ones who were daydreaming about being you. They're protesting regarding your alliances, protecting this gift, which is what you are. A good, moral, kind human. You've earned a lot of merit because you did not attack or try to destroy anybody. You worked on fortifying and adding your own inner self, and then adding value to your soul. You became the Empress. If you weren't already, you became it. If you were it already, you have fortified it and added value to it. You have increased your value by dealing with this malarkey. They're very upset. They wanted to take credit for that, and they're still out there trying to. You can see the cameras rolling. You can hear the scripted speech. It's all carefully planned, and you know, those who are glued to their televisions will eat it up, you know, and they will consider these gold diggers, these actors and actresses, to be their best friend. And I guess they're just going to go wherever they go, because that's who they choose to support with their energy. They're not looking to God. They're looking to a man. And he's not even a good actor. So you got a chariot here of victory. These ones want you to compromise. They weren't able to get their prophecy going. Oh crap, you know, and they're confused now because you're not sick. It's like, what is this? You're supposed to be sick. They just sent you all this nasty stuff. Why aren't you sick? You're happy. What's going on here? You're very strong. These third-party enemies have to move on. You're in your purpose, and they regret messing with you. They're paranoid about your gifts. You are the gift, and they're paranoid about your gifts. They wanted to take you out. You've got this King of Cups who is a liar. This is an explorer. This is somebody that's not from here. That they're not human. They're portraying themselves as human, but they certainly are not. They are here as a shepherd to lead you sheep to the slaughter, right? And then feed on your essence, because that's what you are. Sheeple, chattel. You're choosing your master, and you're not choosing God. A lot of them aren't choosing God. So you got the King of Cups, who's a lying explorer. They're not supposed to be here. They are doing forbidden things, trying to bind the Divine Mother, Empress. The justice is not being held back. It's absolutely landing on them. We've got prison. They could be in prison, an actual prison. They could be in a mental prison. They could be in some kind of a, what do they call that? The middle ground. They don't get to go to heaven. They don't get to go to purgatory. Purgatory. They could be in purgatory. We got house. So the Empress is here getting ready to be wined and dined. But there is a driver here who is in a nightmare. A driver is having a nightmare. They could be getting persecuted. They don't want people talking about it. Gossip. They don't want people talking about it. We've got house. Something going on with the house. They need a house. They're in a nightmare. There could be some kind of spiritual hauntings or poltergeist or something in their house. They've lost their 10 of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. Suffering a misfortune because the Empress has let them go. They want to mend the connection with her shine, with her light, with her power, with her strength, with her life-giving essence. They're stressed out in the head. Look, man, they're having a freaking nightmare. It could very well be that whoever this Empress went on a date with or whatever, it could very well be that this driver is maybe somebody else is being driven. This driver is in a nightmare because you're getting ready to be wined and dined. You have a house. They don't believe the gossip. People are no longer gossiping about you. They're having a nightmare because the Empress is seen as a divine feminine. They've lost their 10 of Pentacles, let go. They're stressed out. They want to fix this connection. They want to fix this. This pleasure seeker is all stressed out. They want to fix this connection with this Empress, this divine feminine who they crapped on for centuries. Laughed about it. They thought they were going to do this for eternity. But she's making plans for the future with the Four of Swords. It could be that this has been laid to rest. We've got Mercury retrograde in the reverse. She's not going back. They will not get her back. God said no, absolutely not. There's a promise that these ones will be feeling the pain from the damages that they have caused. They will be experiencing loss. There's a promise of it. They will experience the damage, the pain, the loss, the sorrow, the weight, the solitary confinement, dealing with the mental and energetic and life nightmare that they put upon her. Priest. Five of Pentacles, because they could not put her in the grave, they have been found unworthy, or they were not able to present evidence that she was unworthy. So God raised her up out of the grave, resurrected her. Soldier. They were not able to produce evidence that she was a soldier. They wanted her to be seen as though she was full of malice. But it wasn't that way. The Hierophant knows that these personalities, these actors and actresses, are just gold diggers. They're getting the message regarding their new chapter, and it's going to be one of natural disaster. They're going to need to try to survive. There's a promise. Because they're an enemy of the mother and of the father, the Hierophant. The relationship is ending with this pet. They may have thought that this was a pet. They may have just thought that this was a low-life animal, a dime a dozen, worthless, nothing or other, blah, 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 blah. Some of those arrogant, freaking, tyrant, dominator wannabes out there talking their big smack. You're remembering all about this. These prideful people were daydreaming about being you, and now they're sick. They're sick. Because you remember. You're not afraid. The illusion is busted. Nothing is hidden. You're out of patience. Those who were martyred and then raised up out of that valley of the shadow of death are moving into the eternal evermores, the forever love. And those enemies of yours, those third wheel enemies, sabotage themselves. They wanted the money and they tried to bring death to the family. And there is death. They're not going to partake in this family. There's a surprise here. They don't get to take part in this family. They sabotage themselves for money, or they're trying to sabotage this family for money. We've got death and surprise. There's a young woman here and widower. A servant has gained their wings, and that would be the sweetheart. Empress. There's an old woman here doing something with a child, according to the scholarly knowledge or whatever. We do have a faithful, loyal wedding, and we do have a foe who is a thief, hoping that they can present themselves as a friend. They're very sick. They're making their journey soon, and they're praying for forgiveness. They're in melancholy. They're sighing about your fortune and this reunion. They're in despair here because they were a false lover of the Lord. A false lover of the Lord. They don't love the Lord. They didn't choose the Lord. They didn't choose God. They didn't choose the messenger of love. They chose gold digging. So you've got a victory here. You're in your chariot. You're getting on down the road. These ones want to communicate. They weren't able to get their prophecy going. They want to stop this prophecy. They're confused. You're not sick. You're freaking happy. What's going on? And there's 3 of you here that's happy. You're happy with a group. What's going on? They're messed up in the head. They're frightened. They're paranoid. They're in regret. You've got gifts. These third-party enemies got to move on. They got to get on down the freaking road. Wherever that is, wherever they are visiting from. And I don't know that they get to go back to where they're from. I'm pretty sure that the Hierophant is going to say whatever their new location is. They don't get to choose. We're having peace here. We're going to celebrate peace. All the negative energy is being released. We have peace. You are at peace. You are happy. You're joyful. They're confused. Why are you not sick? They're frightened by your gifts. So you're strong. They're challenged by your strength. They're challenged because they're third world enemies and they have to move on. You're in your purpose and they're in regret. Paranoid, frightened. Because they were bringing adversity to the gift, and maybe all of that adversity is coming back to them. King of Cups is a liar. This is an explorer from another system visiting here. They thought that they were going to treat humanity like dogs, cows, meat and energy. Nobody cared about your feelings, and they still don't. Just like they don't care about the feelings of the animals as they cry and freaking experience terror as they go down the slaughterhouse line, waiting their turn to get their throat slit. It's bullshit. This system that has been set up, it's a consistent slaughterhouse, this realm is. So they're a liar, and justice is not being held back. It's not being held back. It's coming on them right now. They're in prison. They have to accept responsibility for their own stuff. And we've got gratitude and thankfulness. So you could be thankful for that, or maybe this is something that you are They were trying to blame you. Grateful, thankful people. They have to accept responsibility for their own stuff. Empress is getting ready to get wined and dined. There is a driver here who's in a freaking nightmare. They don't want people gossiping. They're whatever rumors they were spreading to people are seen as a lie. Nobody's paying attention to their gossip. They're gaslighting, manipulative techniques. They're in a nightmare. Nobody believes them anymore. They're in regret. You've got the house. The Empress has the house. The Empress is in the house. She's still alive. They're losing that 10 of Pentacles because she let them go. She was raised up, resurrected by God, and she let them go. They are not getting any of it back. They want to fix the connection with this shining one. This pleasure seeker is mentally messed. They're stressed. They have failed. They wanted to destroy this divine mother figure, and they failed. These masculines, these men, wanted to destroy this divine mother figure, and they failed. We've got planning for the future. Mercury retrograde in the reverse. She's not going back. She's never going back. They will never, ever, ever receive anything from her again. Never. Ever. She's got an eternity of eternal love, and they're not taking part in it. They will never, ever, ever receive that from her again. There was like at least several centuries where she was forgiving, 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 forgiving. And God said, that's enough. That's enough, priest. That's enough. There is a promise here. They will suffer the damages that they have caused to this mother figure, micro, macro, and to the children that have come from the womb that they have brutalized. Looking at them as though they were nothing more than a little tiny animal that needed to be drained of their life force so that they could extend their own freaking life. And then what? Feed their visiting alien freaking masqueraders, you know, pretending that they're human beings, pretending that they care about you while they feed on you. Whoever this shadow demon is, that this lying King of Cups priest or whoever he is has been pretending. Yeah, they're afraid. They're loyal to a shadow demon. They've been feeding this empresses, high priestesses, divine masculines who have rebelled against this system, and all the children and the animals. They've been laying waste to souls. They're not your friend. They were never your friend. This Empress is choosing to focus on the lighter side of life. This guy or a gal or whoever the heck they pretend to be, whatever, man. They're not human. They're a visitor from some other system. They're not human. They don't belong here, and they have brutalized humanity in a bad, bad way. Which means they brutalized the essence of God. Because humanity carries the essence of the sun in them. So they're now in a 5 of Pentacles because they were not able to put this Empress in the grave. They could not provide evidence that she was an unworthy soldier. There was no evidence that she was fighting with them. She was never competing with them. She was never retaliating. She was not full of malice. She did not seek vengeance. She served humbly while they hurt her, while her tears were falling. Oh, sorrowful mother. There's a reason those tears were falling, and it was because of these guys piling shit on her, making her suffer for being a vindictive soldier that she never was, but hundreds, if not thousands, others were, and they were putting that blame on her, making her carry the blame of it. She's trustworthy. The inner voice that guides her knows exactly who she is. He is her witness. This Hierophant is her witness. There is no evidence that she is this. So God said, no, she doesn't get to stay in the grave. She's coming back. And we're going to take everything that she has learned here about all this shady crap, and we're going to have a new cycle is what we're going to do. The Hierophant knows that these masculines and their feminines were gold diggers, actors and actresses. They're getting the message. Their new chapter is full of a natural disaster where they're going to have risk and need to survive. This is an enemy, and they're going to deal with a lot of enemies in this new chapter. They're going to have to try to figure out how to be balanced in that environment. They're going to have to earn their reward, like this Empress did. She didn't rage. She had to swallow it, like so many of you did, and learn how to transmute it without making ripples of pain in the world. How do you do that when you're buried in this pain, this shame, this blame, and they're constantly tormenting your energy and your mind? Well, she did. Look, so you're leaving them behind. You're absolutely releasing that baggage. You're getting a pet. Maybe you're going to get a pet. Maybe you're going to get a new pet love. You remember about these prideful people daydreaming about being you and causing you pain. They're sick. They're not going to persevere. They're not going to persevere. The illusions are busted. Everything's out in the open. You're no longer afraid. Those who were martyred and then self-preserved are moving into the evermore. Those who attempted to sabotage you and for money are getting death. And there's a family that is surprised about this change. And they're in grief. There's a family that's surprised about this change and they're in grief. Everything's happening in divine order. Even when the whole world lied on you, you were honest with yourself. God is your witness. That inner voice is your witness. He knew that you were not a soldier. You did not fight. You are an abundant, limitless being. You're all about relationships that serve the higher good. And these ones were lying on you so bad. Guilty of moving against you, empath, who were here to bring growth. And now there's death to this mental connection. Because love is healthy. You're here in service with your gifts. These ones are afraid because you're successful and you're free of them. You're free. And they're worried about what you're going to do with your purpose. You are here in your purpose. And that means the third wheel enemies who are brutalizing little bastards have to go. This priest or whoever this gold digging little priest is, pleasure seeker, they want forgiveness. I don't know. Whoever this dude is, he's a bad dude. He's not a nice dude. He doesn't believe in God. He did not choose God. He chose to try to be God and play God in your life. He's an explorer from another system, and he is not God. He broke bridges. He hijacked mental bodies. He commanded the messaging. There were copycats, clones, wearing harvested energy, acting as, wearing a mask. Empress has a victory here. Somebody wants her to forgive. They weren't able to get their prophecy going. They're confused. She's not sick. The negative energy is being released. She is at peace and she's happy. Lots of people are happy about it. At least 3 people are happy about it. Because these entities are being ejected out of the sacred space. They can no longer cause a distraction. They're being ejected out of the sacred space. They're no longer able to cause a distraction. We are moving into a time of peace and joy, and they're very upset about it. You can hear it in their voice. They're so condescending, and they think that everybody who does not agree with them should be put away. And there's going to be some people think there's going to be a rapture. There's going to be some disappearance, all right. But I think that this happens to be like a frequency war, some kind of a vibration frequency, latch on, collect, particle event, you know, teleportation, transfer kind of stuff. So they're challenged by your strength. This third party enemy is being told to move on. You're in your purpose, and they're in regret for moving against you. They're paranoid because they were bringing adversity to you for your gift. They were pretending to be you, mimicking you. They were pretending to be you, and they were bringing adversity into the world, pretending to be you. So they were trying to blame you for the crap that they were doing so that they could obtain your gifts. You've got a King of Cups here who is a liar. This is an explorer from another system who is here pretending that they're a loving masculine, and they're simply not. This is a slave driver. This is a wheeler and dealer in life force vitality that comes from bright and shining suns and stars, as well as the other animals who are also light bearers. Anybody who has had to put their dog down or whatever, if you've taken pictures and such, you can see that they actually are light. There is a big ball of light that comes out of them and fills the room when they exit body, just like a human being. This is a soul, a spirit that's valuable. There's no holding back with this justice. They're in a mental prison, or they're actually going to prison. They have to accept responsibility for their own well-being. We're going into a new direction, and we've got gratitude and thankfulness here. Those who are thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents, even those nasty, hurtful ones that you grew so much strength in. The Empress is here in the house. She's getting ready to be wined and dined, and there's a driver here. He's in a nightmare. They're in regret because nobody's believing the gossip anymore. Nobody believes the gossip, and they're being watched. It's like everything is being looked at and seen. Nobody believes the gossip. They're in a nightmare. It was all lies, man. It was all freaking lies by a pretend King of Cups. A personality. A personality. This person isn't from here. They're not even human. They're pretending to be while they hurt humans. Devils actually look like us. I tried to explain this to somebody before. They got so angry with me, and I'm like, look, man, it's the truth. But then that's the same thing about women who there was one woman who lit into me hard about dream lovers. I was trying to explain it, and she said that I was not allowed to mess with her love, and I'm like, oh man, she doesn't even realize what's happening. They tagged her so many damn times, she'll never get out of that. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. The Empress has let them go. They want to fix this connection with her shine because she's so bright, and that's how they got all their pleasure. They siphoned everything out of her, and then they piled everything nasty onto her. They're stressed out in the head because they failed, and we've got play. She's about ready to play. She's about ready to go have a good time. Or maybe they failed in all of their play. Take it as it resonates. We've got the Four of Swords here, planning for the future, and she's not going back. Mercury in the retrograde is in the reverse. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They will never, ever, ever obtain any good thing from this divine mother figure ever again. They will never, ever receive life, health, healing. She's getting abundance. And they're getting wrath. They're getting an abundance of wrath. They're not her friend. They're getting an abundance of wrath. They thought it was funny. We got a priest who's losing, and we've got a promise. They will hurt from what they have done to this mother figure. God is right here. God is looking at this priest saying, you're getting wrath, man. He doesn't love God. He doesn't love God. And I don't know if God's going to make him look into this face or whatever, but he's getting an abundance of wrath. He's in a 5 of Pentacles. He was not able to put this Empress in the grave. There was no evidence that she was unworthy due to soldiering. She's trustworthy. He's her inner voice. He knows who she is, what she's about, what she has done. None of these copycats has her soul or her Akashic record, no matter how much they've played with it. God knows this woman. And she's not being displaced. She's not leaving. She's not going anywhere. And she's not going back to them. They can't put her in the grave. They can't send her to some hellhole because she's not a soldier. She gives life. She doesn't take it. The Hierophant, the Most High God, knows that this personality is a gold digger. They're getting the message about their new chapter. It is going to be one of risk and survival, natural disasters. This enemy will need to learn how to bring a state of perfect harmony into their own world. They're being released. Releasing that baggage. You're getting a new pet, or maybe you're releasing that pet. These guys are worse than animals. They're worse than animals. Every animal on this planet, regardless, even if they're like vicious, lions, tearing the flesh off of other animals, they don't typically do it for fun, man. So we've got insight, the golden nugget. There is a memory of this prideful person daydreaming about being you. They are in despair and they're not going to persevere. They're making preparations. There's preparations being made, and they're not going to persevere. This preparations is the clams getting smashed on the ground so that they can be consumed by those birds. You're the golden nugget. You're out of here. You're releasing that baggage. You've got the insight. You were put in the jar with everybody else, and here you are, Empress. They could not keep you in the grave because you weren't who they tried to frame you to be. And God was in you and knew you. And the truth is known. That no matter how great the illusions or the lies, God knows. And he's out of patience. He's out of patience with these people who martyr families. They get married, they get a contract, they martyr their spouse, and then they replace them with some copycat, that's not her. But they dress them up in her energy, and then they go around wearing masks, doing shady shit. Look, we've got anticipation. That's an empty crowd. There's nobody listening to them. They sabotaged themselves. They sabotaged families. They were looking for money, and there's death here now. They were trying to bring death to family, or maybe there's death coming for their family. They are surprised about this change, and they're in grief. They have anticipation here about stuff like the memories, the history. They know the history of heart bonds and trickery. So because of the history of their heart bond And then the trickery, they go ahead and sacrifice somebody who actually loved them and cared about them and wanted to nurture them. Instead of allowing that to be in love, they would sacrifice that person to the shadows and then pull the energy out of them as well as the gifts. And then they would tout themselves as being so successful as their freaking Empress is in the shadows suffering under a pile of shit. Their own self-interest and negative influences are being taken care of by Mother Nature, who has gained her freedom. Divine Mother. These ones are being warned here. She is balanced. And this teamwork of scavengers of the night with an upside down perspective, they're dead. These are ghosts fighting in the territory for the territory that belongs to this divine feminine. They have to keep their distance. Things are going to roll right off of them, all right off of her, and they have routine communication here. We've got luck and survival. Their curiosity, their astral projection, their mirror magic, their remote viewing, it's all been exposed. They were dominating you while you were isolated. They kept pouring on risk and mischief, causing grief to you with upheaval. They were committed to an empty nest, and they just wanted your gifts so that they could go ahead and look like they were something special. But you offered resistance and you rose, you soared. God said you are coming home. He needs your seeds, Anomaly. The gifts that you have, the stuff that you can plant in a good world is good. You're a beautiful Empress. You have so much good to share with the world. And these ones are afraid of your growth and your protection. Casting illusions within the community. There could be a whole community of mirror magicians that are upset about this. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that it brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.